Through 4 days at the Conference USA Championship, there have been incredible highs, but now it comes down to who can deal with the lows and recover. Grab a snack. We'll find out who's heading to the big dance in the Conference USA Championship match. Louisiana, the home of the nation's best collegiate bowling league. Conference USA, and the champion will be decided today. Who wins that trophy and an automatic bid into the NCAA tournament? This is the best week of the year for brackets, right? So let's set that for Conference USA. Jacksonville State into the title match after sweeps in its first 3. Wichita State, on the other hand, had a long road after losing its opener. Gamecocks and Shockers to determine who takes the title. Alongside Bearcat legend from Sam Houston State, Nishka Cardona, I'm Chris Maikoski. And Nishka, we get the best possible storylines in this championship. Jacksonville State, the defending NCAA champion, against Wichita State, the defending ITC champion.
Yes, and a fun fact right there, these two teams met last year at the ITC finals, where Wichita State came out victorious. So let's see, this is definitely going to be a redemption match here.
Yeah, Jacksonville State certainly remembers that just as well as Wichita State does. Well, Jacksonville State, again, has had no problems dominating throughout the tournament thus far. They swept the hometown Tulane Green Wave and then dispatched Arkansas State in 2 games. Yesterday, taking down Sam Houston to punch the ticket into Championship Sunday. Wichita State yesterday facing Sam Houston in an elimination match, and it took every single roll for the Shockers to get past the Bearcats. Went into a 7-game tiebreaker, and the Shockers come out victorious, placing their name on the next line in the bracket. Here is that full path to the title match for the Shockers. Again, losing to Arkansas State in a 7-game tiebreaker to begin the event. Then they beat Valpo, needed a tiebreaker to take down Tulane, and against the Vanderbilt Commodores. They got that redemption against the Red Wolves before beating Sam Houston yesterday. So this is the Shockers' 7th match of the week, while it's only the 4th for Jacksonville State. Now let's check in with Rick Barbera as he introduces our student athletes. Rick Barbera will join us momentarily, our in-house announcer, as warm-ups conclude here between Wichita State and Arkansas State. Again, going back to last year when Wichita State was a club program, but played this NCAA team from Jacksonville State, took them down in the championship finals in the ITC. JSU yesterday against Sam Houston State, dispatched them without a ton of problems. It was an overall team effort for the Gamecocks. Aaron Klemensick leading the way with a traditional score of 224. A huge advantage for the Gamecocks after that first round. And the Bearcats were no match for the Gamecocks in the Baker total pinfall format either. We will step away here for just a moment, then we'll introduce the student athletes from both teams. It's the Conference USA Championship Final coming up on ESPN.
Just found this unbelievable sequin dress on eBay from a seller who's probably a Vegas showgirl. So many good deals. Had to get these vintage disco pants too. Then I was craving something sporty, found these in a sick cherry red, authenticated and everything. Thanks, Ken. I'm obsessed. Then I sold a pair of velvet flares to like a desert goth in Nevada. Cause last year I was a Victorian vampire, but now I'm all grunge and glitter. Yeah, eBay. It's the place for new, pre-loved, vintage, and rare fashion.
The NCAA, driving change to do more for today's student athletes. The NCAA programs deliver $4 billion in scholarships every year. Those D1 scholarships are now guaranteed. Health and well-being services are mandatory. Student athletes get tutoring as well as financial literacy coaching because almost everyone is going pro in something other than sports. The NCAA, driving change to do more for today's student athletes.
I've learned over the years that your body is your moneymaker. It's what I do, and obviously I'm going to pour every resource I can into taking care of it. I'm not going to put just any protein in my body. Orgain's 30-gram ready-to-drink chocolate protein shake has no artificial flavors or sweeteners and ultra-filtered premium protein. I think this is Orgain's best product yet.
We want the market price lobster and to know the market price.
How much is whatever the market says?
Sadly, we can't have it all, except at Sport Clips, where we check in with the pros in men's hair and check out with pure, uninterrupted relaxation. Sport Clips.
You mastered your mind. And all the while, you were on the train home. Audible. There's more to imagine when you listen.
Conference USA Bowling Championship from Colonial Lanes in Harahan, Louisiana. We have played 17 matches through 4 days of competition. This is a true double elimination tournament. So if Jacksonville State wins, that's the second loss for Wichita State. Gamecocks claim the championship title. But if the Shockers beat the Gamecocks here this morning, we'll reset and do it all over again. The mega match format begins with traditional play. All 5 bowlers playing their own full game, and we'll add up the scores to determine who wins that initial point. We then move on to the second round, which is Baker total pinfall, meaning we'll see a starting lineup for each team. Those bowlers 1 through 5 bowl frames 1 through 5 and then reset for frames 6 through 10. We could see substitutions, although throughout the week for both of these teams there haven't been a whole lot of changes. They like to stick with what works for them with those starting student athletes. If those first 2 points are tied up 1-1, we move into the exhilarating best of 7 tiebreaker. 1 full game in Baker play to determine each point, and then we progress. Whoever wins 4 first will be the winner of this round. Players finishing their warm-up tosses, and then we'll introduce each of these starters on the 2 teams fighting for a championship. Jacksonville State only in its 2nd season of collegiate bowling competition. Wichita State, a dominant club program for a long time, now playing in NCAA for the 1st season. Now let's check in with Rick Barbera to introduce our student athletes.
First, the Wichita State Shockers. A freshman from Harrisburg, South Dakota, Bo Anderson. A graduate student from Wichita, Kansas, number 17, Chloe Seco. A freshman from Myerstown, Pennsylvania, number 11, Morgan Klein. A sophomore from Springfield, Missouri, number 53, Maddie Phillips. A senior from Hayesville, Kansas, number 28, Piper Reams. A sophomore from Council Bluffs, Iowa, number 12, Alicia Oden. A junior from Great Bend, Kansas, number 27, Paige Wagner. A sophomore from Santa Rosa, California, number 9, Ashton Woods. A sophomore from Medellin, Colombia, Sarah Duque Jimenez. And a graduate student from St. Louis, Missouri, number 63, Mary Orff. Wichita State Shockers are coached by Holly Harris. And now let's meet the Jacksonville State Gamecocks. First, a freshman from Gretna, Nebraska, number 8, Kira Maxim. A freshman from Du Bois, Pennsylvania, Malia Miscavige. A senior from Mexico City, Mexico, Kayla Covarrubias. A freshman from Worcester, Ohio, number 10, Emma Yoder. A freshman from Powder Springs, Georgia, number 70, Erin Klemenczyk. A senior from Cedar Rapids, Iowa, number 22, Anna Warkle. A sophomore from St. Louis, Missouri, Danielle Henderson. And a sophomore from Ball Ground, Georgia, Annalise O'Brien. The Gamecocks are coached by Shannon O'Keefe. Ladies and gentlemen, these are your athletes for today's championship.
Rick, thank you very much. He has set the stage. Again, Jacksonville State unbeaten in the championship. In fact, have not dropped a single point here this week. While Wichita State, a rough beginning against Arkansas State. A match that came down to the 7th game of the tiebreaker. Red Wolves came out on top, sending the Shockers into the contenders bracket, where they have proceeded to win 5 consecutive matches. Let's set the starting lineups for these two teams. Jacksonville State will begin with Erin Klemenczyk, who had the high game for the Shockers yesterday in traditional play against Sam Houston, bowling a 224. Emma Yoder follows her. Anna Warkle, then Danielle Henderson, the two-hander, and Annalise O'Brien, who came through in the clutch with the biggest shot of the tournament so far for the Gamecocks, the final roll against Sam Houston to win in Baker total pinfall. Wichita State sends out Paige Wagner to begin this round. She'll be followed by Alicia Oden, Ashton Woods, Mary Orff, and it's Sarah Duque Jimenez in the final spot in this traditional format. We've seen Mary Orff in that anchor role throughout much of the week, Nishka, but of course here it's individual games. We could very well see Orff in the anchor spot when we move to Baker total pinfall.